The 2020 postseason for Nippon Professional Baseball gets underway this Saturday, November 14th. This year's postseason features only 3 teams instead of the usual 6. In the Central League, there is no Climax series, so the regular season champions, the Yomiri Giants, have already earned their place in the Japan series. In Pacific League, the top 2 teams, the Fukuoka Softbank Hawks and the Cibolote Marines, will meet in a quick best-of-4 series. The Hawks are given an automatic 1-0 series lead. Either team must get to 3 wins. The winner will move on to face the Giants in the Japan series. In this video, I want to look at each of these 3 teams so we can see their strengths and weaknesses, and who their biggest weapons are. Then I'll tell you what I think is going to happen in the Pacific League Climax series and the Japan series. Alright, let's start with the Central League champion Yomiri Giants. At 67 wins, 44 losses, and 8 ties, they are 8 games ahead of the second place team, with 1 game left on the schedule. The Giants dominated Central League for most of the season. They scored the most runs, 528, and allowed the fewest, 416, for a run differential of plus 112. First in team ERA, 333, home runs, 135, and stolen bases, 80. Third in team batting at 255. The team's ace is Tomoyuki Sugano, who is very likely headed to MLB next season. Sugano is 14-2, ERA 204, WHIP 0.91, 126 strikeouts, 3 shutouts. 19 starts, 16 of them quality starts, averaged about 7 innings per start. After that, they've got 20-year-old Shosei Togo, 9-6, ERA 276, WHIP 120, 106 strikeouts, 19 starts, 10 of them quality starts, just over 100 innings thrown. Angel Sanchez is another good starter, 8-4, ERA 308, WHIP 123, 15 starts, 8 quality starts, 87 innings total. Ruby De La Rosa is the closer, 235 ERA, 121 WHIP, 17 saves, and 4 holds. Kota Nakagawa is a dependable reliever, ERA 1.00, WHIP 0.94, 15 holds, and 6 saves. For hitters, there are 3 guys to look out for. Kazuma Okamoto is the Central League home run leader with 31, 278 average, 363 on-base percentage, 552 slugging. Yoshihiro Maru was in the top 5 in Central League with 27 home runs, 282 average, 373 on-base percentage, and a 553 slugging. And shortstop Hayato Sakamoto hit 289, 19 home runs, on-base percentage 380, slugging 502. So they won the Central League title easily, and they've got good pitching and hitting, but there is cause for concern. Since October 10th, they have 6 wins, 15 losses, and 4 ties. They won the league title because of how they played over the summer. In the fall, they haven't looked like a championship team. Next, let's look at the Softbank Hawks. Not only are they the Pacific League champions, they are the 3-time defending Japan Series champions, and winners of 5 of the last 6 Japan Series titles. In 2019, the Hawks won it with a 4-game sweep of the Giants. This year's Hawks team won 73 games, lost 42, and tied 5, 14 games ahead of the second-place Marines. They were second in runs scored with 531, first in home runs, 126, and stolen bases, 99. Team batting was second, 249. They allowed only 389 runs, far less than any other team. Run differential was plus 142. Team ERA was a very impressive 292. The most dangerous Hawks pitcher is Kodaisenga. He led the league this year with a 2.16 ERA and 149 strikeouts, and tied for the lead in wins with 11, for a pitcher's triple crown. WHIP 121, 18 starts, 14 quality starts, 121 innings. Shuta Ishikawa is another 11-game winner, ERA 242, WHIP 0.98, 103 strikeouts, 17 starts, 11 quality starts, 111 innings. Now Higashihama had 9 wins and only 2 losses, ERA 234, WHIP 111, 102 strikeouts, 19 starts, 10 quality starts, 119 innings. Veteran pitcher Tsuyoshi Wada, 8 wins, 1 loss, ERA 294, WHIP 113, 75 strikeouts, 16 starts, 7 quality starts, 85 2/3 innings. Matt Moore, 6-3, ERA 265, WHIP 110, 89 strikeouts, 13 starts, 7 quality starts, 78 innings. There's no weak link in their starting rotation, and in the postseason 1 or 2 can be used in the bullpen. Not that their bullpen needs any more help. They've got Yuito Mori at closer. His 32 saves were 1 behind the league leader. 6 holds, ERA 228, WHIP 101. Cuban lefty Livan Moanello made 50 appearances out of the bullpen, 38 holds, ERA of 169 and a 106 WHIP. Another lefty, Shinya Kayama, also made 50 appearances, 18 holds, 210 ERA and 0.93 WHIP. 25-year-old Rei Takahashi appeared 52 times, 23 holds, 265 ERA, 129 WHIP. As for hitters, Yuki Yanagita is the team's offensive leader. .342 batting average was second best in the league, third in both home runs, 29, and RBI, 86. Ukyo Shuto was the stolen base leader with 50, a .270 batter with a .325 on-base percentage. Yurespel Gracial hit 10 home runs, though he only played in 69 games. He and teammate Alfredo Despine were stranded in Cuba and didn't join the team until August. So their pitching is fantastic, both the starting rotation and the bullpen. Their hitting is really good too. The Hawks won more games than any other team in either league, and since October 10th, they are 21-3. Last, we'll look at Pacific League runner-up the Cibolote Marines, making their first postseason appearance in 4 years. At 60 wins, 57 losses, and 3 ties, the Marines were way behind the Hawks for first, and only a game and a half ahead of the Cebu Lions for that final playoff position. Like the Hawks, the Marines were more of a pitching team. Second fewest runs allowed in Pacific League, 479, and second in team ERA, 381, trailing the Hawks in both categories. In runs scored, they ranked 4th with 461. Run differential was -18. 90 home runs tied them for 4th. 87 stolen bases ranked 3rd, and team batting was last. So their hitting is not so good, and they just lost their biggest weapon on offense. Leonis Martin left the country last week to receive treatment on a sprained ankle. He hit 25 home runs during the regular season, on-base percentage .382. His production will be missed during the postseason. In Martin's absence, Seiya Inoue becomes their best power hitter. He hit 15 home runs, .749 OPS. If the Marines are going to win in the postseason, it'll be because of their pitching. Manabu Mima is a reliable starter. 10 wins, 4 losses, ERA .395, WHIP .126. 19 starts, 10 quality starts, 123 innings. Another good one is Kota Futaki. 9 wins, 3 losses, .340 ERA, 0.91 WHIP. Only made 15 starts, but 10 of those were quality starts. Then they have Kazuya Ojima. He was 7-8 with a .373 ERA, 135 WHIP, 20 starts, half of them quality starts, 83 strikeouts, and 113 1/3 innings. Closer is Naoya Masuda. His 31 saves were only 2 behind the league leader. ERA .225, WHIP .113 in 54 appearances. Yuki Karakawa appeared in 32 games, recorded 14 holds. ERA was .119, WHIP .102. Frank Herman had 23 holds, .215 ERA, and a .106 WHIP in 38 appearances. Another reliever they can count on is Taiki Tojo, 39 appearances, .254 ERA, and a .131 WHIP. The Marines were in second place for most of the season's second half, but they struggled in the final month and fell to third place briefly with only a week to go in the season. From October 17th to the end of the regular season, they were 7-17-1, falling far behind the Hawks and nearly losing second place. They did, however, win 3 in a row in the final week to fend off the Lions and reach the postseason, so that's something positive. Now, what do I think is going to happen? Let's start with the Pacific League Climax series. The Hawks have better hitting and pitching. They have a 1-0 series lead and home field advantage. The Hawks were hot in the final month. The Marines were cold, and the Marines are without one of their best hitters. The only advantage the Marines had this year was the head-to-head. They won 12, the Hawks won 11, and there was one tie. But the advantage seemed to disappear in the last 6 weeks. Hawks were 7-2 against the Marines in October and November. I'm definitely going with the Hawks in this one, for the sweep. That will set up a rematch of last year's Japan series between the Hawks and the Giants. I've already said that the Hawks were on fire in the final month while the Giants struggled. The Hawks will have home field advantage since it's an even-numbered year. The Giants will have no home field at all. Adding to the already unusual circumstances this year, Tokyo Dome will not be available for the Giants to use. Instead, they'll be playing their home games at Kyocera Dome, home of the Oryx Buffaloes, a venue the Giants have not played at this year and is located in an entirely different region. Making it hard to predict this series is the fact that there was no interleague play this year, no head-to-head, no mutual opponents. Both teams won their respective league titles by comfortable margins. Statistically, they were the best offensively and defensively against their competition. We can guess that the competition was tougher in Pacific League because that has been the case in every other season. How much tougher, we don't know. That does vary from one season to the next, and we can usually use interleague records to gauge that difference. Hawks won the Japan series the past 2 years even though they didn't finish first in the regular season, so obviously they are a good postseason team, and this year they were an even better regular season team. If the Giants can get back to how they were playing over the summer, they can keep the series close, but even then I'll have to say the Hawks are going to win it. And with how the two teams have been playing lately, I do not think it'll be close. The best the Giants will do is avoid a sweep this time. Hawks in 5. And that's what I think will happen. Let me know what you think. Like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, this is Baseball International. See ya.